You were with us again this evening, weren't you, Master? You always have been. Standing in the corner of every room, listening, prompting, protecting. Look how far we have come. I hope you're proud of us. The beginning was that afternoon in Paris with you, wasn't it? You called me, goodness knows why me. You called me into your room and spoke about forming a committee in London, which would have absolute authority to decide what was to be done. Little did I know then that that seed would gradually grow and has now borne its first fruit tonight, right here in this room. And you were with me again in Haifa, weren't you, when you guided Shoghi Effendi to ask me to arrange for the compiling of the lists. Oh, those lists! How vital, but yet how troublesome they were to become. And when I asked Shoghi Effendi if we should tell the believers their names were being listed for the purpose of voting, his answer shocked me. No, on no account should this be mentioned. Later, I understood why. If people knew they might be voted for, they wouldn't have allowed their names to be put on a list. Or even worse, some might have made sure they were most certainly on the list. How long will it take us to shed our worldly notions of power? And then, the first shoot of the tree planted by your hand appeared, last June, when we elected the 3 new assemblies of London, Bournemouth and Manchester. We called our London Assembly the grand title of the All England Baha'i Council. Dr. Esselmont commented at the time that this would mark the beginning of a new and more prosperous era for the Baha'i movement in our country. I'm sure you will agree, Master. It most certainly did. How much we were like children then, learning new skills. We elected officers, librarians, set a calendar, and continued to manage funds for publications and meetings. It really was quite good fun, for the most part. But as you know, we had our struggles. How we wrangled over how to create one reliable list of voters. Some people thought that a document should be prepared which people sign as an official record. Others objected, saying that you had not allowed this. Yet others believed that an interview should be conducted in which it is explained to the applicant what is expected of them. I really don't need to tell you what I think. We're still trying to work it out. But if we thought lists were troublesome, even more struggles lay ahead. Just a few months ago in March, I can't believe how time has flown. That letter from the beloved Guardian about the election of Baha'i assemblies threw us into such a tizzy. We simply couldn't understand it. We had never done any of the things he was describing. We simply couldn't fathom how on earth they would assist with the efficient functioning of an assembly. But I still don't fully understand it. This idea that the assembly should be dissolved and then re-elected on the first day of Rizwan every year. Will not such frequent re-election retard their work? 1 year is hardly long enough to get us working effectively, and the continual introduction of new members would surely be a hindrance. And this notion that the assembly should only have 9 members. We had 12 on the council, and found this to be just the right number. If some members couldn't attend, we had enough for effective consultation. And how can every single member of the community be eligible for election? Well, some friends are, how can I put it, simply not suited to be administrators. And what if someone with an objectionable personality is elected? How will this affect the functioning of the assembly? But of course, we unanimously agreed to carry out the Guardian's instructions, trusting in his higher vision. As you know, dear one, we all profoundly believe that we just have to carry them out wholeheartedly, and that with time and experience, no doubt the beloved Guardian will be proved right. In fact, his unerring guidance has already watered the little shoot. Then it grew another spurt in April, when the Guardian instructed us to elect the new assemblies of London, Bournemouth and Manchester, as we had done at Rizwan the year before, and then to immediately arrange for the election of the new National Assembly by delegates from those communities. Now, that was complicated, but we were ready for it. I think the arrangement works rather well, if I may be bold enough to say so. The Council decided that of the 9 members of the National Assembly, 6 would come from London, it being the capital and the largest community, 2 would come from Manchester, and 1 would represent Bournemouth. Updated lists of believers were compiled, those interminable lists again. Voting took place by postal ballot, and voila! The new National Spiritual Assembly was brought into being. It sounds so easy when I say it now. And tonight, Master, its first ever meeting. I'm so excited to talk about what happened, but I'm not allowed to. But knowing that you know already, I think it'll be all right to tell you. I know you won't whisper it to anyone. Shh. We began with the discussion about who should be president. We all proposed who we thought would have the qualities required for that role. When my own name was mentioned, I respectfully declined. I simply couldn't occupy such an exalted position. In the end, we came to the conclusion that dear Mr. George Simpson is best suited. For my sins, I was unanimously proposed to be secretary, a position which I took up humbly and actually, secretly, very much enjoy. Next, guided by our new president, Mr. Simpson. Oh, he's left his hat. Next, we will decide what the rules of debate will be. Being able to be relaxed, of course, at the discretion of the President. Rule number 1. All comments must be directed to the President and not to individual members. Rule number 2. Members must speak in rotation in the order in which they are seated. Rule number 3. If a member has spoken once, but wishes to speak again on the same topic, they must obtain permission to do so. I really don't think I would have made a very good president. But I do think these rules are rather good, don't you, Master? We also decided, quite logically, I believe, that no canvassing for votes should take place before an election, but if advice is sought by a believer on an individual's suitability for election, they could be advised of their desirable qualifications. I'm sure dear Shoghi Effendi will put us right if we've got that one wrong. Then, the representative of Manchester, Mr. Hall, gave an update on the assembly there. It seems that newer adherents to the cause are being allowed to push to the front over the heads of those who have served for many years, and this is causing some upset. I'm sure they'll work it out very soon. Next, the Bournemouth representative, Dr. Ethel, informed us of the assembly there. There were some difficulties experienced by the members owing to a lack of harmony among them. But the opportune resignation of one particular member has removed that stumbling block. Thanks be to God. But did you not always teach us that establishing love and unity among the believers was the answer to all our problems? It seems we still may have a lot to learn. But no doubt many more challenges remain before us to be overcome. What that road holds, none of us know. No doubt the winds of tests will blow this young tree from one side to another until it is strong enough to stand up tall and straight. But something I do know, Master, is that I love this new institution as I love you, even while being a part of it, humbled as I am by that. No mere mortal could have created a system in which ego has no place. That is how I know that this new National Assembly exists in the divine world, beyond its individual members. Take our hands, Master, and lead us forward step by step. One day, there will be lots and lots of little trees in every corner of this blessed land, all sprouted from the seed you planted. And this new National Spiritual Assembly will cast its protecting branches over them all, nurturing them to grow their own divine fruits.